Howdy, everybody, and welcome back to the Blu Ray Hunter. I'm the Blu Ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and we have a fun show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about The Muse, a movie. The Muse, which you have the DVD for, but I have the Blu Ray. Yep, it's upside down, but awesome. Yes. Up, that's sideways, but awesome. It's also sideways. That's backwards.
Wait, we're getting there. We're getting there. There we
Oh,
go.
there you go. Perfect.
Got it.
Gotcha. Anyway, if you guys still stuck with us after that, we're here to talk about the 1999 film The Muse, directed and written or co-written by Albert Brooks with his co-writer Monica Johnson, who worked on pretty much all of his movies up to The Muse except for Defending Your Life, which is the only one she did not write. She did
Oh,
not
okay.
co-write. I don't know why. I guess he just came up with it himself and didn't need somebody. I don't know, but generally speaking, she was writing since real life, so they were writing partners. And I thought there was something more going on, but apparently I listened to an interview and he just talked about how they met through like mutual like she was a sister of another comic and they just became friends and and whatnot. And they wrote this movie and man, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall during the making of the writing of this movie because I just want to know why somebody goes and like does this stuff and like thinks this, because like there's a lot of stuff that happens in the movie, and you're wondering how do they piece all this together to make this, the movie that they made or whatever, and whatnot. Like, how do they come up with these crazy ideas? How are they inspired? They obviously didn't have a muse, but they were thinking, wouldn't it be funny if muses actually existed, right? Or claimed to exist, you know? I mean, if somebody came up, like Sharon Stone came up to you, John, and said, I'm a muse and I can help you out, all you have to do is pay for everything of mine. What would you think?
Oh, I would say no. I would need some sort of just like in the movie. I would need for somebody like Jeff Bridges and other people to say my life completely changed.
Yeah,
I would not be the first person. No, I'd have to
I
be like the fifth.
I think I think he agreed because I think he agreed to that because not just because Jeff Bridges, but Jeff Bridges won the Oscar, right? And the dude is not, by the way, dude can't play tennis, at least the
Dude,
character.
the dude,
The dude, the
the
dude could not.
dude.
I didn't even do that on purpose, but I did not. That was an accident. But
I would that's something I would like to see like bloopers of. It is how many times did because for people out there who haven't seen the film, there's a scene of Jeff Bridges and Albert Brooks playing tennis
well,
and I'm sorry.
I said, well, I mean,
Well, yeah, playing. And Jeff Bridges cannot hit the ball over the net. He keeps hitting it into the net. So I just wonder how many times did he actually hit it over the net?
and then they're like, damn it, we can't use that one.
Yeah, then
That
some
they,
PA would have to run and go grab the ball and throw it back. So there's not like five, 10 balls over there that he actually,
yeah, like we
could
can't see
hit.
the ones he actually hit in the background.
There
Yeah,
is on the side of Albert, there is a ball. There's one ball. And I wondered like, oh, did they miss the ball or why is that
probably.
sitting there?
That's
Yeah,
probably a
they're
little bit
like,
of a issue, like continuity issue.
yeah. So it's I mean, you never know in this movie if Sharon Stone really is a muse or not. So it's left up to interpretation. We do have going all the way to the end the two doctors that are from the mental asylum that are at Albert at his house to collect her.
Hmm.
And she escapes and they laugh this off. Well, how do we know they just don't want her as a muse? How
Well,
do we
no,
know that,
I there's a couple things with that. Like they did say, like she went to Paris to say she was like Picasso's daughter or something like that, and people believed her. And that was the thing. Like she is a very persuasive person. People will believe her, you know. And I mean, apparently whoever she does come across. Now, my other like my little problems with this movie is, like if this is true, like how many times has she come to California? Because Wolfgang Puck has become famous because of her, right?
Right.
It's her idea. It was her idea for like she inspired pizzas in his restaurant or whatever is what he said. So like, or whatever. And so there's this thought of like how long has that restaurant been around? Has she just like kind of snuck out and gone to different places? And Hollywood is like one of the easiest places because even the people at the asylum have said she what is it? Uh she likes to she went to Hollywood because you guys will believe anything. And I thought that was hilarious, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but with how many people she knows and how long she's been there, and I don't know. I mean, I think it's possible that the people from the asylum know that she's a muse and tracked her down and will lie to get her back. So it's
I
for
mean,
people who
yep.
haven't seen this film.
Well, we just
um
spoiled the big part of it, so oops.
yeah, so it's Albert Brooks is a screenwriter. He just won the humanitarian award. He
What does
was a
that mean? What is the humanitarian award? What is that for?
I'm trying to think of what that producer says, and I'm not thinking of
No, it
it.
was Albert Brooks who said it. It was for somebody who hasn't won an Oscar.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm because the producer, the young producer, was saying like completely disregarding it. So that's very funny. Yeah, it's somebody who hasn't won an Oscar. So he was popular. His new script is being rejected, and everybody says that he lost his edge.
He lost
So
his
he
edge.
goes and talks to his friend Jeff Bridges, who's won an Academy Award, and he says, "You need to get a muse." And has Sharon Stone say, "Okay, fine, I'll meet with him." And so Albert goes over, and it's a you don't know if she's using him for money or if this is like the process, because she also works with the wife, and the wife does very good. And if you notice, the wife never gives a gift, but the guys do. They even mention
Yeah,
that she should give her a gift, but she doesn't, and she still,
has the
has
big.
everything.
She has the
Yeah.
best success of everyone. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, yeah, she becomes the next like yeah, Mrs. Fields. And for cookies. And it's but from what I got from this. Okay. When Albert's telling his idea for the script that the Muse helped him with,
hmm
I thought it sounded awful. And people are like laughing their heads off, and I'm just like, this does not sound funny at
That sounds Hollywood,
all.
though. That sounds Hollywood,
It sounds
and
very much like We Bought a Zoo.
yeah, except now it's we bought an aquarium.
Yeah,
Which maybe we bought a zoo. I guess that was a book though first or
I
something. I
believe
don't
so.
know.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say though, I thought that like it sounded like that could, I mean, but the thing was like, you know, um, the way she worked, was she was just like, I want to go to this aquarium. And then Albert took her to the aquarium, and then all of a sudden he's looking around going, I could make a whole movie out of this. Oh, I could do a comedy starring Jim Carrey as a wacky aquarium guy. I could see it in the beginning. He has a his parents die and and he's at the funeral and they leave him over an aquarium. Uncle or something died and he left him a which I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've used that trope before. The uncle dies and all of a sudden, you got something like an amusement park or, something cool, but then but this one is an aquarium, and then the animals start getting sick and blah blah blah, and he gets
See,
all these. But
none of that was funny to me.
I
How is animals getting sick funny?
or
What I
or
thought
animals in a
was,
sling, I thought that kind of sounded funny, like the seal is in a sling, that I would kind of
no,
laugh
I
at
didn't
it.
know. The only thing I laughed at with that is when it was it his agent who says then they should take all the dead animals and make them into sushi.
That was morbid but funny. Like
That was
I
funny to me. But let me so this I don't know that this is I don't know about this. So Stephen Phillips, Albert Brooks is the king of Hollywood screenwriting.
mm-mm. Is that
That's
what
what
they
it
say in the
says.
beginning?
Yeah, but his hold on the throne is slipping.
I mean, they're trying to make him up to sound bigger, but maybe he had like at one point he was hot and then he lost his edge.
I would say, if anything, Jeff Bridges is the one who's the king of Hollywood since he got
Right
the
now,
Academy
yeah,
Award.
now he's the king of Hollywood, but
Yeah.
maybe it was like saying that Albert Brooks was the one bigger than Jeff Bridges, but it sounded like Jeff Bridges was just a producer, right? He wasn't even like a screenwriter. He just
Yeah.
came up with ideas and then probably sold them to screenwriters to write, and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's weird. When a successful friend, Jeff Bridges, suggests that the services of a bona fide muse named Sarah Sharon Stone might get his career back on track, Stephen's desperate enough to take the leap of faith. Despite the misgivings of his wife, Laura Annie McDowell, Stephen accepts Sarah's
Extravagant.
thank you demands, hoping for a good, strong dose of inspiration. Because that's to let people know that's her whole thing is that she doesn't write the script. She inspires it.
Right.
So
It's not like AI or something where people think that you can just type into AI and then like they'll write your whole script out and everything and whatnot. That's not, that's he even said it's not like Rumpelstiltskin where you go to sleep and then you wake up with the script the next morning, or whatever. And I'm glad like that's not like that, in the movie because like that would suck. Like that for a writer that would suck. Like
could
'cause like
be.
the whole okay, as a screenwriter, 'cause I think this is the perfect thing. We're both screenwriters. We both write scripts, you know. Um would you want somebody to write it for you and then you just take credit for it?
No, but there is a sorry, Boris tried to get up here and knocked everything down. I think that there is a degree of, let's say AI didn't exist, that I could write a script and give it to you, and then you give me suggestions, and then I give it to another person who gives me suggestions, and then I give it to another person who gives, so maybe there's a whole bunch of friend suggestions in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't write the whole thing, technically. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in Axmas 2, Tommy Vegas goes to the security guard who brings a flashlight to an axe fight, something like that. And that wasn't me. That was my coworker who read the script. And then she just made the comment, who brings a light, who brings a flashlight? And I'm like, I'm stealing that. And I took it and I put it into the script.
I
So
I've had moments where people have suggested things to me for my scripts, and I have used them. And I've told them I was going to use them, or whatever, because they worked. But I don't know. It's one of those things where, if they had written like I think the WGA says like 50% of the script or something, there's certain percentage, then they get co-writer credit. If
yeah,
they
it's also first draft. It's something with that too. Like the guy, I forget his name, Steve something. Like it's not Steve Zahn, it's like Steve Zellerman or Zonderman. So that
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
the
Zillion.
guy, yeah, he wrote the first draft of The Firm.
Okay.
And that's the one where Tom Cruise uses a machine gun in it and kills and shoots everybody at the firm. And they're like, But because he wrote the entire script, so he has the credit. So it's like, screenplay by him or story by him, and then it will list the other people. So, but I think with Sharon Stone is that it really is he doesn't listen to her. He keeps questioning everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think that if she goes, okay, well today you need to go to the beach and go swimming. Muse, okay, telling me to go to the beach and go swimming, that ideas will flow. Instead, he's like, oh, the beach? Oh, it's like 20 miles away. Really? Do I have to go to the beach? And at times she gets irritated because it's like that's what she's there to
Yeah.
do.
She even said like when she was getting the car, a limo service at one point, she was like, "You need to go back to the aquarium." And he goes, "Ah, back to the aquarium? Why would I want to go back to the aquarium? What am I gonna learn there? What am I gonna see there? What is right?" Like he wants the answers then instead of going there and finding the inspiration and creativity
Yeah.
and stuff.
I mean,
And
she does give him the third act. She goes, okay, fine, I'll give you one. And then he takes it and runs with it, which isn't inspiration. That's just
stealing,
her.
taking,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like her being a co-writer.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, she comes up with that and then he runs with it and is like, "Oh my God, that's a great idea." And like she should be writing for Hollywood, you know. But I
That's why
don't
I think maybe she is. Maybe she is a muse. Maybe that's and even if she is insane, she's obviously influenced an awful lot of people.
hmm
So,
So
you
many
know,
people come to the house like I mean Jim Cameron, James Cameron comes to the house and I will just say that they were wrong though in this because they said he's not allowed to go to any more water. And what is fucking Avatar? All fucking water,
yeah,
you
because
know?
this is right after Titanic.
Yeah, so the
And
idea is like stay away from the water. It's a joke, but
yeah,
like
and
real
he
life.
did it was all water after that. Because then he took he went down to the Titanic. He then did like the Ghost of the Abyss, which was about the Titanic. He did a whole bunch of water stuff after this, yeah, including Avatar, one and two, and I guess now maybe three.
One of
But
them's called
it
the something and water or something, like it has
oh
water in the title,
the
so like
way of water,
way of
yeah.
water. So it's like
Well, so I thought that there were some funny things in this. Like Martin Scorsese comes up and says, "I'm remaking Raging Bull with a really thin guy," and then when he walks away, Albert Brooks. Oh no, this is later. He's talking to his wife and goes, "Maybe that's Martin Scorsese, and he's going to remake Taxi Driver with all women."
well, what's really funny about that is do you remember Albert Brooks was in Taxi Driver?
That's
Yeah.
right.
I
Yeah.
was looking up Albert Brooks's career last night, and I'm looking down as an actor, and I see Taxi Driver, and I'm like, that's funny. That made me crack up because then
So
that means he's going to be replaced, his character,
yeah.
by a woman, by a
Yeah,
woman.
which of course today all these things were made, were Ghostbusters, 2016 and Ocean's 8 all bombed, you
hmm
know, because of them being all women. So which I thought was funny. And then yeah, James Cameron, that was wrong.
Yep.
Uh then but yeah, I didn't even think about excuse me, him being in Albert Brooks being in Taxi Driver
It's probably how he
because
got that's probably how I got Martin, he probably
I
said
would think that
like
he's
we're
probably
friends.
friends with
Yeah,
all
like
these people. Yeah.
Um, 'cause there's another bit that we talked about earlier, but there's like this bit where he's at the lunch of death,
Yeah.
where he's kind of telling the guy, you've lost your edge, you suck now. We are gonna fire
Yeah, the
you. You're,
producer. Yeah.
right, the producer. And then all of these like Lorenzo Lamas walks in, and then there's another person before Jennifer Tilly, wasn't there? Somebody else. And then Jennifer Tilly walks in. He's like, I don't want to see any more of your friends. Like, I don't want to meet any more people. I just want to find out what's wrong with me. Why are you firing me on this? And and Jennifer Tilly says something like, "Oh, he's a doll, isn't he?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's a little Chucky, you know."
Chucky.
And I thought that was hilarious because of Bride of Chucky had just come
Well,
out.
yeah, yeah. I looked it up to make sure that it was 1 year earlier,
Yep.
so it
So
was
they
it
had done
was.
that as a little Hollywood jab, or whatever. I don't know, like, but I think I don't can't remember what Jennifer Tilly's look on her face was when he said that. Like she might have just given him a stare, like.
Oh yeah, it's a close up of him, and he just says, yeah, he's a regular Chucky.
But
So it's
how was her look? Like, was she mad at him for
we don't see
saying that?
it.
Okay, I think she
It
just
it
walks
it
away.
cuts from him, yeah, to another shot, but it's yeah, there's a lot. You got to also, it's kind of like swimming with sharks and some of these other movies. You always find out later on, or at least suspect, that the person who is writing and directing, or just writing this, let's say,
Mm.
knows all these nightmare people. So, like Albert Brooks probably dealt with that young producer who looks like Cole Hauser, which is weird, and was told nobody wants to see your movies anymore. And, just change the name or whatever. But that probably happened.
Well, if it didn't happen to him, it might have happened to someone he knows. Because I think a lot of this has to do with Albert himself at that time in his career where he sort of, he had done Defending Your Life and then he had done Mother, right? And he had only co-written Scout, The Scout. He didn't direct The Scout. And so he was probably at that time getting frustrated with Hollywood, because Hollywood wasn't really just utilizing him so much that he was deciding I'm gonna write something that's sort of my and I've been watching a bunch of Albert Brooks's movies, right? I've watched all the ones that I have on Blu Ray now. So was it real life? He was a real reality show producer. Like he was director or whatever. He was trying to make a reality show, kind of thing. Before reality shows existed. So he was
A
ahead of
lot
his
of people
time.
say he was the influence on that.
Right.
Yeah, that was
That
like the
movie is
godfather of it.
so funny. Like that movie is hilarious. Like I
Just
don't
the
know.
big cameras on their
I
heads.
know. That was freaking genius and just everything in that movie was so good. I was very surprised because I heard a lot of these blue tubers out there that bought it on Criterion having not seen it. They were like, "Oh, this is not funny. I don't find this funny." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? So I almost was scared to watch it because I heard so many people like saying it wasn't funny. And I started watching it and I started laughing my ass off. And then I messaged you and said I was watching it and you said, "Oh, I love that movie. I think it's hilarious." And I was like, okay, good. At least somebody, liked
No,
it.
I love all this stuff. I mean, I remember him on Saturday Night Live before,
Yeah,
I knew who he was. And I think, because I have him pulled up here.
do you know what his original name was? His
Yeah,
real
Albert
birth name?
Einstein.
Yep, he
Yeah,
changed it,
to Brooks. Yeah.
for
Well,
Brooks.
and his brother, who sadly passed away, is Super Dave Osborne.
Nice.
So who was on he was on this TV show called Bizarre, and it was just clips. They were only like a minute long, maybe two at most. And Super Dave would always be on something. He'd be like, "Today I'm going to," and this is something that happened. "Today I'm going to drive this RV." And then he gets on the RV, but it's a dummy. So you see him like strap in, but it's a dummy up there, and then they drive it underneath a bridge, and you hear his voice go, "Oh shit." And he hits right under the bridge and the dummy explodes. So in every episode that he does, he dies in a really horrible way,
Hmm.
but it's a dummy.
Right.
And he got famous for this. And he
That's
is
funny.
in Modern
Yes,
Romance,
he's the
the shoe salesman.
yeah, who's my favorite line in it is like, you need two pairs of sweatpants. And he looks at her sweat clothes, and it's gonna be $150. And he goes, why don't I just get one of them? And he was like, well, what if one of them's in the wash? And he looks at him and goes, well, then I just won't run that day. And he goes, you know what? You don't seem very serious about this, so yeah,
I
maybe
was about
buy
to
that
say
other.
that.
Yeah, that
That
was
is it's you had messaged me earlier saying, that Albert Brooks isn't like laugh out loud funny. That it's and that's what's funny is it's his brother, and he's just like, I thought you were serious. And then he starts packing everything up, and you do laugh.
yeah.
You do laugh
And you do
because of
laugh
how
out
it's
loud, but it's
I
not
guess
like
it's
it.
not like I guess Jim Carrey or somebody funny. It's not like I got like I'm coming out of somebody's butt funny.
Right.
You, you know.
It's not something that would just make you go like so laugh so like okay, I'll give you an example. My dad is one of those people that if you make him laugh really good, he will just crack up like loud, 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 right? And we were watching some of the Muse. He didn't finish it because he was got too late, and everything. So he stopped it like sort of more halfway, almost toward the end. But he started watching, and he was laughing. Like I could hear him laugh, right? But it wasn't like, ha ha ha, oh my God, that is, right? Like a knee slapper, right? He was laughing like he would laugh, they chuckle because they were, but most of the lines in the Muse are for Albert Brooks's character is more sarcastic, you know. He uses
Yeah,
sarcasm a lot,
yeah.
and
Well,
everything.
and it's like in Defending Your Life when he gets the car at the beginning. And the guy at the car shop, like the salesman, he walks him to a car, and Albert Brooks is like, "Oh wow, that's a great car." And he goes, "Oh no, that's yours over there, and it's a smaller, cheaper car." And he goes, "You know what? You may not want to show people that car first because now that makes my car look like a piece of shit."
Yeah,
And you laugh,
you
and
laugh.
it cuts. A lot of his jokes are on the cut and they're always like the end of the scene, and then it goes to him driving, and
Right.
which we'll talk
We'll,
about.
we'll get into
Yeah,
definitely.
and it's Boris. He wants attention because oh, there he is, because I didn't spend time with him when I got home. And yeah, his stuff is just, I think, sarcastic is a good way
Yeah. I
to
mean,
put to say it. Yeah.
I was watching it going, I mean, most of the lines are, and like, I love that scene where, to go back to the young producer guy who's taking him out to lunch, and he says something to him, and he goes, I like that. I'm gonna write that down. And he
Yeah.
goes, what, what are you doing? And he was like, well, I write things down, that I find funny. And he goes, I think that's called stealing, right?
Yeah.
Which comes back later at the end of the movie. If you didn't notice, if you didn't think about it, at the end of the movie, what did the guy get fired for? Stealing.
Stealing.
And he
Yeah.
was stealing all the props or whatever. By the way, so he worked at Paramount. We actually got to go to the prop thing on the tour, right? So you got to see a bunch of the props or whatever. Warner Brothers had a bigger, since we paid more money for the Warner Brothers one, we got to see more of the prop, area, like prop closet, whatever. Not
Like
closet,
a
there's a big
like a
studio.
prop house.
Yeah, prop house,
Yeah.
and it had lots of props. Made a lot from freaking Casablanca. Don't ask me why, but apparently there was a lot in there for that. And we were looking around. I mean, but you can't just take something from there, and then put it in your
Right.
office. You have to. Most of those props are actual reusable props. They say, oh, this is used for this TV show or something, or whatever. This is going to be used for this TV show. Or they actually have it listed where you can actually look at the cards, you know, and it'll say kind of like a code, for a TV show or a movie. They won't tell you what movie or TV show. It won't, but it'll say this is basically saved for this at this, time or whatever. It's really neat. It's a really neat like experience, and that was how I got my dad to watch the movie. Was I started watching it and I saw the Paramount lot, right? And the gate, where he just drives up and he gets like let into the thing, and I was like, we did that. We've been there. We came to when we went to the Paramount tour, we didn't know where to go. The directions were pretty bad, so we went up to the gate and the guy said, "Oh yeah, it's just right across the street, right over here." But we didn't know. We thought maybe they'll let us go on the lot,
No, you
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 know.
you you had the drive on, walk on, crawl on.
Yeah. Crawl
So
up, walk up.
you
Yeah, the
walk up.
walk
Yeah,
up.
yeah. So you had the crawl up. So
Yeah, we had
it's
to crawl up.
it's weird that it's Paramount because this is Universal.
I know. So most of the movie is at was it at Paramount, weirdly enough. But I think a lot of times they let each other kind of, use each other or whatever. And then they have the big Universal bit where that walk that drive up, walk up because he's like, "Yeah, you have a walk up." And he's like, "Oh, well, is there something worse like a crawl up?" And the guy the was it the guard is not amused,
And he's like,
you know.
"What?" Well, that's
Yeah.
why you said his humor is sarcasm.
Yeah.
So that's sarcasm
That's
right
that
there.
that's definitely sarcastic. So then he has to walk all the way from like 9 miles. He says that's 9 miles away. He has to walk 9 miles up in the
Why would you think Steven Spielberg's office? Because that's who he's going to see. He has a meeting with Steven Spielberg. Why would you think that his office is 9 miles away? Wouldn't that be a red flag that it's Steven Spielberg's cousin, in there and
yeah.
not Spielberg? So
Well,
that
he didn't
that's
know. I mean, we didn't know when, I mean, I don't know. I forgot about all that stuff. So when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, Steven, because I saw that James Cameron was in the movie. Martin Scorsese was going to be in the movie because they list the cameos at the end. And I was like, okay, so maybe, Rob Reiner was in the movie. That was
oh man,
crazy.
sad.
It was sad. It was sad to see him but it was even sadder that we didn't actually get to hear them talk or anything. It's just like kind of
Yeah, it would have been nice
it would have
to,
been nice
yeah.
to see but we can't see what they're saying because the whole idea is that basically she gave him the influence to make the same exact movie, which is
Ye-
weird. See, that's where I think she's a muse because they had the exact same script, unless she literally was telling Rob Reiner the idea,
Wait, so
you
she
know.
is a muse, is what
That's
you're
what I'm
saying.
thinking, and so
But to me, that would mean that she's not a muse because she's just stealing ideas and giving them to different people.
well, no, but it's the exact same script. They said it's the exact same script.
So she would
So
just walk along the aquarium and say the same stuff that she said
yeah,
to Albert Brooks.
she'd bring Rob Reiner to the aquarium or something, or if Rob Reiner was at the aquarium at the same time, and then she's just said hello, then maybe that sprinkled. It would have been nice if we had seen a shot of her leaving Rob Reiner to go be back with Albert, and Rob Reiner's like, "In a minute," and he like looks around or something, right? So that we gotta get a hint later that he stole, like she gave him the idea, or something. But
Right.
anyway, I want to talk about Stan Spielberg real quick. Steven fucking Wright. I mean, at that time, so 1999, I had been a huge fan of So I Married an Axe Murderer, you know, and I think that was the first time I ever witnessed Stephen Wright. Maybe I might have seen his stand-up comedy somewhere, but I mean, I love his stand-up comedy. I think he's so funny. But in this movie, he was hilarious. He reminded me of the pilot in his pilot character in So I Married an Axe Murderer, where he's just kind of like he doesn't know what he's doing, or whatever. And at one point he's like, "No, Steven just gave me this idea or this job, and I just, you know, kind of ran with it,
Well, yeah, because he's his
cousin."
mentally dysfunctional cousin who he feels sorry for. So yeah, he just stuck him 9 miles away, just gave him a secretary, and that's it. So when he's walking those 9 miles, because he has the walk up, we see him walking through the studio. Then it cuts to him walking up a hill, and we could see Paramount behind him.
Hmm.
And then it cuts to him flat again walking on the studio, and it says like Spielberg building. That I know what Albert Brooks was going for, and it's funny seeing him all full of sweat. I don't think it worked because he's going from flat to up to flat again.
Okay.
So it would have been like flat up a hill and then flat or flat up a hill down to flat.
I don't know. Um, there was also the tour group that's going by, and they're like, this
That
is
was hilarious.
where they shot what's the oh, Liar Liar, which Jennifer Tilly was in. Liar Liar. So I wondered like if that was like, something or whatever.
Well,
And
also Jim Carrey, because
and
Jim
also
Carrey's,
Jim Carrey.
yeah.
So he later gets that idea to do Jim Carrey. Maybe he got it from that lady saying liar liar. I don't know. But then he said, what is it? And then she goes, and this is a guy who, and this is a guy who didn't get a drive up, who got a walk up or whatever, and I thought that was funny.
No, that scene is very funny. So I think with all of our Jim, look, I got a new Chucky thing. Speaking of Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah, nice. We
So
for people who follow Blu Ray Hunter but do not follow my other channel, Horror Film Lovers, John Ward and I do a thing called Mainstream Mondays, and on Mainstream Mondays we've been doing a lot of we just finished all of Chucky, so we're done with Chucky. Like Chucky
yep.
can go fuck off for a while, a little while. Um, but now, but it was nice because I did not remember Jennifer Tilly being in it or the Chucky reference or any of this stuff. So it's kind of like, oh, when I asked John to come be in this, it was because John, you had actually you had asked that we should review the Muse because we had reviewed Mother and we'd reviewed Defending Your Life, which so I was like, okay, let's do the Muse and you were very happy with this. I guess like that.
I love the Muse. It might be, well, no, Mother's my favorite, so this would
Is
be
it
the
still
second
your
one.
favorite? Because remember, we had that discussion that you were like, you got really pissed off at the brother in the movie and stuff, and just
Oh,
annoyed you.
he is so whiny and I don't know why both of those actors in real life are Jewish. So I don't know why they played off the Jewish stereotype of the whiner. That's Woody Allen. We don't need that in an Albert Brooks movie. So that really did annoy me, and I don't like that stuff. But all the other stuff, because it's shot in Marin County, the Bay Area where I was raised and lived most of my life, they drive out of Madrone Canyon, which is
Hmm.
called Dark Park. That's my company. I
That's where
mean,
you named it after, right?
is that park. So it's there's a lot of things. This, I guess, probably because it's Hollywood and he's a screenwriter.
I
You
I
know,
would say right now my favorite is still Defending Your Life. Then I think this movie would be next. And then Mother. Um,
okay.
and then I would say Lost in America. No, I would say Real Life, then Lost in America. And then Modern Romance would be last, which I thought I was gonna like a lot more. But I think it's because it's way too dramatic at times that it just doesn't make me laugh as much. And so there are good moments to it, but then most of the time I'm just like, and I honestly don't like the editing stuff, like his job. If he could cut half of that stuff out, I would have been okay with it,
I
you
think
know?
his really early stuff is more indie. It's more
Hmm.
independent. So it feels different than what he does now. He hasn't made that many movies.
No, he made
I'm
only
really
seven
surprised.
movies, or directed seven
Yeah.
movies. One
So
of which
like
is not on Blu-ray, so I don't have that one, which is the something about the Muslim world or whatever. Some
that is a funny one because he plays himself and they're looking for a comedian to go over to, it's like Iran or Iraq or something like that, and do a comedy show. and it's I thought it was quite funny. I don't know why he stopped doing it, stopped making movies really after that. But
Uh,
yeah, so yeah, like real life and modern romance are indie. I think Lost in America, that's uh Warner Brothers.
yeah,
I think that's what broke him into the mainstream, and then the total mainstream would
well,
be Defending Your Life.
technically, Modern Romance was Columbia Pictures,
Yeah,
so
modern Columbia, and then real life is Paramount. Mother is Paramount.
I mean, maybe they bought it. I don't know if they produced it necessarily or not. But he was this guy that he made a short film uh about a comedian school or something. It was like a parody, you know, and everything. And then he did Saturday Night Live, and people thought he was funny. I watched an interview with him, and he talked about the Saturday Night Live, and what happened was Saturday Night Live wanted him to do like the Albert Brooks show on it, do something like that where I don't know if like he'd interview people or something, but he said he can't use the F word in it, so he wouldn't do it because it would be live, and he didn't want to do anything that like that he didn't want to, whatever, something like that. And then he said he would do short films for them, and that's what he did. Like in the beginning of Saturday Night Live, he did short films, and I want to see some of those. I think that would be hilarious to
I
see what he
remember
did.
some of them. He always starts with like, "Hi, I'm Albert Brooks." Um, they might be on YouTube. Who knows?
Yeah,
So I
or Peacock, because I think they have all of Saturday Night Live from
oh yeah.
all 50 seasons of it, or whatever, 51 seasons of
So
it.
kind of looking at so like real life. So 3 million. So 364 million
Hmm.
is what it made. Because I'm trying to figure out modern romance. So close to 3 million. They're not giving budgets on some of these. Lost in America, though, it was only
15
made for
million, right?
4 million, and it made, well, according to Wikipedia, 10.
Okay.
So that's a massive, massive hit. Um, so now Warner Brothers would be like, okay, what else do you want to do? Let's get you in for another film. So then he does Defending Your Life, and the budget on that was 20, but the box office was only 16. So it's like, okay, it's a critical hit, but we're only going to do this one film. And then Mother, that made 19 million, no budget. Muse definitely lost. Yeah, if its budget was 15 and it only made 11.
Yeah, it's
So
weird
it's,
that his movies just don't really do well, necessarily, and he still gets to make them,
well,
you
yeah,
know.
because then looking for comedy in the Muslim world is that its budget was 10 million, but it doesn't tell how much it made.
Well, I liked I liked this one a lot. I felt like the Muse, what is it? And I do want to talk about this real quick while you're talking about the amount of money and everything. I want to talk about how well it did in the box offices as opposed to like other films at that time, So yeah, it only made $11 million, like 11,614,000, and this is from Box Office Mojo, you know. So, um, but its first week, um, it made, let's see, on Friday it made 1,178,000, I guess, and then the other one's 1.5 million. On Saturday, and Sunday only 978,000. Shit, that's pretty low. Um, but let's
Well,
see.
nobody knows who he is. I just saw looking at his acting. He's still acting. He just made that movie, um, Ella McKay. He plays the governor.
Ah, but see, you know why? because that's a James L. Brooks movie, and James L. Brooks and him were best friends back then.
Oh, yeah, because they
And
did
so
like
there's
broadcast
they did
news, which is
broadcast Terms of Endearment. He's in. He's also in. He's also worked like he's put James L. Brooks in movies. He's in Modern Romance. He's in Lost in America, but just as like a party guest, so like an extra, or whatever. He was in so I think he might even be it. But I will tell you, the standout role in Lost in America is Gary Marshall, who's the casino guy in that. And he is the casino manager. He's the funniest part of the whole movie. Like I was laughing my ass off because it was so funny. But the rest of the movie is kind of sad. Like, like a lot of it's got addiction, gambling addiction, and all these other issues and I want to talk before we get into the whole thing about driving and everything, the director of Drive, RFN something or whatever, it's got some kind of weird name. He said that he loved Albert Brooks in Lost in America because of a scene where he yelled at Julie Haggerty outside of Hoover Dam, and he like yells
sorry.
at her really, um, really loud and everything and
Is
nasty.
that the you're not allowed to say nest? You could say birds live in a round stick.
Yeah, that scene, yeah. That whole scene. And he's yelling at her and he's just mean and nasty and sounding looking and stuff. And that guy cast him as the villain in Drive because of that scene, because that scene horrified him when he first watched it.
But
And
also comedians are scary. You
yeah,
know that's you don't like Gary Cole, who then ended up playing the dad in the two Brady Bunch movies. He got that job because he did a made-for-TV movie about a guy on a military base who murdered his family and blamed it on the Manson family. It's act and also the what is it the dad oh God, I can't think of his name, but you would know him instantly. But he played the dad in Leave It to Beaver, the TV movie,
I
the
don't
movie.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
And he was brought in there because he did the same thing. He played like a killer in a movie. So who do you get? You get Albert Brooks, who's a comedian who's yelling at his wife, to play one of the scariest mob bosses
Hmm.
ever put on film. He is utterly frightening
My
in Drive.
my dad loves Drive. We actually went to the Denny's or something from it when we were in LA. Like he was that obsessed with that movie, like, or whatever. Like he wanted that. So we went there uh, and to me it wasn't a big deal. Like, I didn't know that movie or whatever. But anywho, later but later I like today I told them that that story that director liked him in that movie and whatever, and he was like, he was in Drive. Like he didn't recognize, like, wow, I didn't even like, right. By the way, so The Sixth Sense, The 13th Warrior, The Runaway Bride, Bowfinger, Mickey Blue Eyes, the Thomas Crown Affair were all the big hits. Like those were all the movies that beat out the Muse for first in the box office at that time. And that kind of makes sense. Like 13th Warrior was what Antonio Banderas's,
Yeah, it's
movie.
Michael Crichton around the time of Jurassic Park. So that's when they were
Yeah.
making all those Michael Crichton movies.
The Thomas Crown Affair, Mickey Blue Eyes, Bowfinger, like was the first one the Sixth Sense? That was obviously be
Oh yeah,
the
that was
number one
huge.
at the box office. So I can kind of see it, but do you know what it did beat? It beat out Inspector Gadget, the
Okay,
Matthew
good,
Broderick,
good.
American Pie,
Oh
you know,
no, I like
Mi
American Pie.
Mystery Men,
Oh, I like that one
um,
too.
The Phantom Menace, which
Uh,
was in nine weeks already at that time. So,
oh, it made
sorry.
its money back in
Yeah,
like
it,
one.
it it only made 253,000 at that time. So, whatever. People are
Yeah.
probably getting tired of it at that moment. But like, so all those movies were, after it. But interesting to see how what movies were out. Like I think we talked about it during our Demolition Man one, which will be coming out soon. Um our topic about that. But like, what I think was interesting was how much movies don't stay in the theater very long. They don't have 10 weeks or 20 weeks or whatever of time. But like movies here for like, like I said, 9 weeks for a Star for Phantom Menace, The Haunting, which was like right after I had 10 weeks, of being in there.
Never
Um,
again.
The Wild Wild West was in the theater for 14 weeks. That would never happen.
God, no,
That would have
that
been in there for like
bombed.
2 weeks, you know. Oh yeah, it only made 14,000 at that time. How much did it make? It don't Worldwide it made $222 million. I don't think it bombed
I
necessarily.
think for a Will Smith movie, it bombed.
I mean, $222
We'd
million
have to look at
dollars.
his other fourth, we have to look at
Yeah,
like Independence Day and because that was a Fourth of July movie with him
that's
in it.
true.
So. Oh, here's another connection. Sharon Stone, Martin Scorsese,
That was yeah. Yeah. They
Casino.
were Casino and that was before that was 96. So yeah. That's that's about right, you know.
So it's funny okay, Sharon Stone Academy Award, James Cameron Academy Award, Martin Scorsese Academy Award. Like how many? Like he has like a ton of people that won. Rob Reiner Academy
Jennifer
Award.
Tilly, didn't she win an Academy Award?
She did. Yeah, she won it for that like Hounds on Broadway or
Yeah, Bullets
whatever
Over
it is.
Broadway, a
Yeah,
Woody
yeah.
Allen film.
Yeah, yeah.
She likes to work with her Jewish comic people.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
The
yeah, that's crazy. That is funny that they had a lot of they had a ton. Lorenzo Lamas never won one. Poor guy.
No, no. I thought it was weird that he was in this. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well,
You would think maybe it'd be John Cusack who walks by,
well,
like he's friends with a lot. What?
Well, it's funny because somebody said in a review that they stopped the movie basically, I think, because there was that scene where people just kept walking up, right, and everything, and they were saying like it seemed like they were just pulling people out of that restaurant. And I was like, fair enough. That did seem like it was like Lorenzo Lamas is in the restaurant. Hey, you want to be in a movie? You know? Uh,
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Um, Almost worked for Ed Wood. I don't know if I ever told you that story, but Ed Wood was this close to having um what's the Jimmy Cagney in his movie. They were shooting a scene for Jailbait, and one of the actors, Lawrence Talbot, I think is his name, something
Yeah.
Talbot, saw Jimmy Cagney up at this motel, and they were doing it. They were shooting it guerrilla style, where they weren't supposed to be there, right? And so they said that Jimmy Cagney goes, "Hey, Larry, what are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm shooting a movie out here. We're shooting a movie. You want to come be in it?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. Hold on, I'll be right down." And he was going to come down, but the just as he was going to come down, the owner of the place said, get out of here!" And I'm so mad because like James Cagney could have been in jailbait,
That's funny.
this close. And that seems that seemed to be about Ed Wood's thing, like this close to having a big,
Well,
star.
yeah, sometimes things work out and sometimes they don't. I remember Philip Seymour Hoffman went to a middle school to talk
Mm.
about film,
Hmm.
and a kid goes, "Can you be in my movie?" And he said, "Sure." So this kid in middle school has a film starring Philip Seymour Hoffman. I
It's
mean,
funny.
talk about a first movie. I mean,
Um, I asked R.A. Milhoff, however you say it, the guy who played Leatherface in Chainsaw Massacre 3, if he wanted to be in my friend's movie that she was shooting, and he looks over me and he goes, "Is it SAG?" And I was like, "I don't think so." I was like, "Sorry." And he walked away, and I was like, "Fuck." If it were SAG, maybe he could have been in it.
there's
Um,
ways of getting around that.
yeah, well, I don't think he cared. Like, I don't think he really wanted to be in. Jeff Bridges is also, did he win an Oscar? Did he win for, you know? I'm trying to see.
Oh, I don't
Um,
have my phone with me. It's charging. Oh, but I can check on here.
see, the problem is, Okay, awards nominated. So, Sybil Shepherd was nominated for things, but never won a thing. What did winner Oscar winner for best performance? So another Oscar winner for Crazy Heart for Jeff Bridges.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie.
Yep. Um. So Mark Feuerstein, that's the guy who played the what was his name? The character named Josh, the producer guy. He was in like What Women Want, In Her Shoes, In Your Eyes. He likes things that say in something, apparently. Um, but he did not win an Oscar. So that's
Yeah,
um
I did not recognize him at all, so that's
Bradley Whitford was in ah, Bradley Whitford was the agent, and he was um did he get nominated for anything? Like it's really hard to see these. He's won 3 Emmys, but that's it.
well, I know on Wikipedia you could just scroll down to like awards and nominations.
Oh, okay,
So,
well, I'll have to do that
but
at some point. But anyway,
but
lots of
they're
people won different things. Bradley Whitford was the villain in Billy Madison, though. So that's my favorite claim to fame for him is
okay.
he's the asshole guy who wants to win the uh Eric who wants to win the Madison hotels instead of Billy, and Billy's like he's a bad man, right?
Not the golf player.
No, no, not that's Happy Gilmore. I'm talking about Billy Madison, the other
Oh
one.
fuck, they all blend into me.
I know.
Okay, yeah,
Well, that's
they're
why they're called Happy Madison Productions.
they're all the same
Yeah,
thing.
they're all they're what got him, super famous. I mean, he there was no Happy Madison Productions until those movies got famous and everything.
So if he
But
didn't make one of those movies, I guess it
he'd
wouldn't
have a different
exist.
name then. You
Yeah.
know, would have been the
Might be
Adam
a
Sandler Productions or something.
what could be like Happy Water Boy.
Happy Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Happy Madison works for me. I like that. I'm both. There's this like thing he said recently. He said he's gonna make 50 more movies coming up,
Ugh.
and 25 of them are actually gonna be good.
Yeah.
And I laughed and I was like, I sent it to a friend of mine and said like that quote. I sent that quote to a friend of mine and said, I'm gonna write one of them, good or bad. I don't know. I don't care which one. But
Uh,
I would write
Sadly,
one
I
of them.
still won't watch it.
Oh, I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would.
Uh,
I know you'd be like, "Ugh, I don't want to see Adam Sandler being Adam Sandler at the age of
I,
70."
I I I did like Happy Gilmore too. I thought was okay. I thought that was all right because he's more serious. I like him as a serious actor. He's a good actor when he's serious. I just don't find him funny.
Have you
Of
seen
course,
Uncut Gems yet?
yeah, he's good.
I haven't seen it. I have
Uh,
it. I just haven't. Because I've heard if you have anxiety already, like I do, I have high anxiety a lot. Um,
High
Mel
anxiety.
Brooks, another Jewish,
Yes,
filmmaker. But no, if you have a lot of anxiety, you don't want to watch a movie like that. And I get it. Like I'm scared to watch movies
he
where
is
my
so high strung through that entire film, and
does it make you feel high strung?
no, he even though he did a good job in it, I because I've brought this up before, he plays a very Jewish guy in it.
Mm,
So it's a lot of, well, why can't I find, well, where's the gem? Why can't I
mhm.
and
He
I'm just
needs to
like,
be in
oh,
it. I wish Woody Allen was still making movies. He could be in a Woody Allen movie.
oh God.
Did you know that in Lost in America, Albert Brooks was almost not going to be the lead in that, because he didn't want to do he didn't want to cast himself again. He was like, maybe I should just direct, and direct somebody else. So I'm gonna find a Hollywood actor in 1984. Do you know who he tried to get?
Adam Sandler.
in 84.
Eddie Murphy.
No,
I don't know that.
Bill Murray.
Oh, oh,
And Bill Murray would have probably done a great job. However, uh he like he called their people up, and the people are like, he loves the script. He would love to do it, but he can't do anything until 1987. He was booked
that
up until
booked.
1987. So uh Albert Brooks was like, "Yeah, I'll just do it."
So, but see, I think that would be a problem because looking at his movies, when Woody Allen wasn't in the films and he had somebody else take that role, all they did was Woody Allen. So I think it
Well,
was, and that's all. It's like, oh, all he's doing is like, what's his face? Larry David was
yeah,
in
Larry
one of
David,
them.
yeah, I remember that. He was
All
very
he
Woody Allen.
did was Woody Allen.
Um,
So I have a feeling that would be the same thing here. Albert Brooks is the only one who could do Albert Brooks,
yeah,
unless you do something totally different.
which Woody Allen has done where he did like dramas, or like thrillers or whatever
Oh yeah, those
like
were like
that.
his little art movies
Like
that
Scarlett Johansson was in a couple of them or something, and whatnot. And uh,
Match Point and stuff.
Match Point. Oh, that's such a great movie though. It's so good.
Well, those were his, I make one for you, you make one for me. So that was, oh yeah, I'm gonna make the stupid comedy movie that makes you all the money. Well, you let me make my little drama art movies that make no money. So
Yeah.
that was his deal for a while.
Yeah, but I do see what you're saying, and I'm like trying to think, like, could Bill Murray have pulled off the anger at Julia Haggerty without just being Bill Murray? Like, I've never heard him yell at anybody like
So
that.
no, because he would probably do it in a Bill Murray type of way. If you removed Bill Murray from, oh my God, I'm blanking. What's the one where he goes to Tokyo with Scarlett Johansson?
Oh, Lost in
Lost in
Translation,
Translation.
which I
If
hate.
you oh, I like that movie. If you take him out and put in Albert Brooks,
I just felt like it was the most boring movie I've ever watched. It's just boring, boring,
I'm
boring.
sorry, Sophie Coppola became one of my favorite directors because the
Oh, I
opening
love her.
shot in the movie is Scarlett Johansson's ass. That's
Well,
how
there.
it literally fades in on her ass.
And she's
And
a heterosexual filmmaker, I think. She might be
yeah,
LGBTQ ally, but she's a heterosexual filmmaker doing that.
well,
That's, she knows what
yeah.
guys want, I guess.
And Scarlett had no
Um,
problem with it. So, but I
right.
think that you write for a particular type. So like I think if you took if you put Albert Brooks in Lost in Translation, it wouldn't work because he would just be Albert Brooks. Well, no, because in Drive, he's scary as hell.
Yeah.
So maybe
I
it
think
could have
he I
worked.
think he could work. Um,
Bill
I
Murray needs to be a psycho in something. He
I
needs to
don't
do like what Robin Williams did,
he
where he
never
played
no, but he doesn't I guess he doesn't have any interest in that because like there's no real dramas that he's done. Well, no, I lie. Was it Where the Buffalo Roam, I think, stuff like that.
No, no,
Those
no, that was
older
a
films.
comedy. That was a dark comedy. He
Was
played
it?
Hunter S. Thompson. Yeah.
Okay, what was that?
He
Razor's
did The
Edge
Razor's
or
Edge.
yeah.
That was his drug movie. That was the movie that he had to make while he was in rehab. That's the only reason why that film got made, is that was like part of the deal, is that he make that film. But it's like I don't find Robin Williams to be funny. Maybe one or two films, that's about it. But man, is that guy a great dramatic actor. I mean, he 1 Hour Photo, Insomnia. He is friggin' great in those movies. And Albert Brooks proved that with Drive. But I wonder if Bill Murray could pull off the psychopath who lives next door type of thing.
He played Polonius in Hamlet with the Ethan Hawke Hamlet.
Oh, that's the modern day Hamlet. Yeah,
Uh, I
I
never
own
watched
that.
that, but I imagine I think I watched it years ago, but I don't remember it. He was also in Wild Things, which wasn't a comedy necessarily.
No, and they ruined that movie too.
Mad Dog and Glory was a comedy there, right?
Dark comedy. Yeah.
Dark comedy. Quick Change. I remember
Ugh.
that with him as a
Who's the
clown.
clown? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Yeah, he's done mostly comedies.
I mean, even
Um,
something like Scrooged, he's pretty nuts, but he's not
but Where the
psycho
Buffalo
nuts.
Roam was, he wasn't comedic, was he? He wasn't really funny, was
It's a
he?
comedy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But you're right.
It's
Was it the
yeah, it's like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Where's the Razor's Edge? Which one was that? When was that?
That
Was
would have
that
been 80s, I think.
80s? So there's Meatballs, there's Where the Buffalo Roam, Caddyshack, Stripes, Tootsie, Ghostbusters, The Razor's Edge, 1984. So same year as Ghostbusters.
Well,
Um,
Tootsie, he played the roommate. He was good in that. It was a little more. I mean, he
I
does.
need to own that because it's on. I don't know if it's on 4K or not, but it's on a Criterion. So I may wait till see if it gets a 4K if it doesn't already.
Well, maybe if you order it, it might be delivered in a car.
What do you mean?
I'm trying to segue into the car thing with Albert
Oh,
Brooks.
okay.
Because we've
Uh,
gotten so far off track and we're already, what, an hour into this. We haven't talked about the cars.
yes, let's talk about his love or fetish for driving, and whatnot. Where we so it's interesting because last night I had realized he likes driving. So I'm watching I'm watching the what's the movie? Well, I watched The Muse, and I was like, okay, there's a scene with whatever driving. There's a couple scenes him driving, whatever. Like, uh, okay. And then I watch Modern Romance, and there's a lot of driving in it. I'm like, that's weird. And then I started thinking about, all his other movies, like, Defending Your Life. He dies in the car, or whatever car accident, which I wonder if that's his like that's his fear, come to life is like,
Him trying to
you know,
grab an CD or whatever it is and gets hit by a truck. So,
right.
and if you notice that scene with the car, he makes a big deal out of that.
Yeah,
It's not just like a 2 second scene. I mean, it's the whole beginning of the movie
right.
is him with that car
Yeah. So then, and then, we talked about Lost in America. He drives the whole time. That's the whole point of the
in the
movie. It's
RV.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's the RV, and then I showed you that scene. Don't know if you watched it or not.
I
That
did.
that scene where he's like sniffing the car.
Well, that's why I said Tarantino has feet, Albert Brooks has cars because it's he does because I don't know if it was around the same time, but I definitely thought when in with the Muse, my God, this guy drives a lot.
Hmm.
And it's probably not even him. It's probably like a stuntman or a grip. And I mentioned this to you, but I'll repeat this for anybody who's watching is, he's probably like, go out, get me some B-roll footage of just me driving in Los Angeles. That way he can intercut it between two scenes.
Huh.
So he's at a house here, we see him driving, and then he ends up in like an office. And that's the only thing that I could think it is, because even in Mother, there is a ton of driving in that. He loves driving
Uh-huh.
and
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 so I don't
and
know if
especially
that's,
expensive cars too.
I mean, when you think about it though, like I think I even told you that, like, in Virginia itself, I'll talk to people and then I'll be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, oh, I need a ride, or I don't have a car. I don't even have a license or something. And I'm just like, really? Like, you can go out, you're an American citizen. You can go out and just get a license. You don't have to, like, I don't know why you don't have it. Well, you might not have it because you got like a DUI or you got this problem or whatever, and your license got revoked. But anyway, the point is that, like, maybe he thinks of it as like that's a right of American, thing, is like, I have one. If I have it, I'm going to use it. right? I'm gonna show off my driving as much as possible. I don't know. It's just a weird theory in my head. Is like, you know,
Yeah, I think it's just to put in between scenes. I think that's, but he, because I think that he realizes that, like, um, Robert Rodriguez in his Rebel Without a Crew book, he says, cut to the dog. So if you have a scene and there's a continuity error, you cut to the dog. And the dog that he was using in El Mariachi was like a three-legged dog. That would be his go-to shot if something didn't work. So it sounds like just directors and stuff have these things that they go to. So it would
mm,
just be, and you had mentioned, I wonder if these driving scenes are in the script. So it could be, so maybe I'll try to find one of his scripts, but I really think that it's like I'm in a house. I can now directly cut to me, like I'm in the house. I don't have to go to the car. I could just go, honey, I'm going. Cut to the car driving, and then cut to him in the office going, hey, I have an appointment with Steven Spielberg. You don't need to see him get in the car. You don't need to see him park in the car unless it's for comic effect, like,
well,
the walk on.
yeah,
But
or he does a lot of it where he's like, he's driving from the humanitarian award ceremony and he's coming home or whatever, and he's talking to his kid says that award looks like a penis
penis.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Where did
And
you hear that?
yeah, where did you hear that? Oh, I'm like, penis? Like has she not heard that? Like, good God, like, they really shelter that child. Um, but then there's the scene where he's also on the phone with Jeff Bridges when he's explaining, about her and stuff, and he's trying to find out what kind of gift he should buy her or
The
whatever in there,
Muse.
the Muse and which he buys her $50 cufflinks or whatever, like a little ring, like a ring or something, and it was
Oh no,
just a
it's a
really
key
good
ring.
key ring. And he knows it's not big enough for her, which I don't know if she would have gave him less ideas or something or less creativity if he gives her a crappier gift,
No, I think that I at first thought maybe because she just kind of tossed it on the pile of gifts that aren't opened and some are opened, that if it's a muse, and we know that there's nine of these muses and they're the daughters of Zeus, that you're supposed to give them a gift.
Right.
So I wonder if,
Like the gift to the gods, right? Or something like
yeah,
that.
like maybe way back in the day, you gave them fruit or something. I don't
Or a
know. It was a,
sacrifice, you might have murdered somebody
oh
and just,
wow, you went really dark
Well,
fast.
I mean, I'm just saying that's probably what some of the gods were like,
Wow, I'm talking
you
about an
you're
apple.
killing the blood of you're shedding the blood of my enemies. That's okay with me. You
I
know.
mean, there is no, so maybe that gift was perfectly fine, but he just doesn't seem to do the right things. And the thing is, yeah, Jeff Bridges probably should have told him, yeah,
Mhm.
you need to get something that's like $50,000 or whatever it is, instead of something that's $60.
Yeah, $60, not uh three
It's
hundred thousand
feminine.
dollars,
It's cute.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
I
this
I
is.
I love Jim Cameron, who is like, oh, I got this after my bonus check from Titanic, and then she looks and goes, it's not the, and obviously, so no, 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 and I was like thinking that's not a good idea to piss off the muse like that.
Oh, because she looked annoyed when she closed the door.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
and yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it's anything. Like you could give her a rock, and it's a gift. So I don't know. Like, does it have to be a fleece of gold that you give her to? Because maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe Jeff Bridges won the Academy Award because he gave her something that was like $20,000, and maybe Albert Brooks's character would get a script sold because he gave her the keychain, but he wouldn't make a lot of money off of it.
yeah. I don't know how that works. Because he does spend a lot of fucking money on her before he moves her into the house, which that was his wife's idea. which was really funny that
Which then he was against, but yet he was against spending all that money on her to begin with.
the Andy. Oh, we forgot to mention Andy McDowell is the
Is
plays
his
the
wife.
wife, and she is this was after Groundhog Day to go back to Bill Murray real quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Everything's
that's
got a
after.
connection.
You know, she had like it seemed like she had a lot of fun. Like she enjoyed being able to be Mrs. Fields or whatever. Wait a minute. Okay, no, she did not win an Academy Award, sadly. That's sad.
You would think maybe for Green Card, but she just didn't.
No, I, not a lot of comedies win the Academy Award. I don't think. At least not for acting. And stuff. Or even Best Picture. I mean, have you ever seen? Well, there's okay. Annie Hall, I think probably won, right? Or
Yeah, it did. It won Best Film.
yeah. So that's I guess that's different. That's weird. But nowadays it's more like like that one the one what's that guy's name? What's that kid his name? The guy who played fuck kid from Dune, Timothy Chalamet, his newest movie, Marty Supreme or whatever. I think that will that potentially win stuff, in the Oscars.
That trailer has turned me off so much that I will not go see that movie.
I have no interest in it either. My dad wants to see it because it's a sports movie, he
Yeah.
calls it. And I'm
Um,
like, it's a ping pong movie. I want to see a ping pong movie. I was like, I'll wait for streaming on it. Like, I have no interest. It seems like I bet if I found out how long it was, I'll turn my dad and my dad will go, nope. Because he won't watch anything over 2 hours in the theater. He does not like, yep,
you
it's
should have
2 hours
stayed.
and a half. So,
Ugh. And the
so,
Muse is only 1 hour and 37 minutes, so why can't that be?
what?
The Muse is only 1 hour and 37 minutes, so why can't that be?
Why can't that be what?
Why can't that be 1 hour and 37
Yeah,
minutes?
um, because, you know, because people are over bloated these days with movies. Everything's got to be some kind of epic. Like that one battle after another could have been cut in half, I think.
I will never see that movie in 100 years.
I liked it. I thought it was fun, but there's parts in it where I'm like,
Uh,
okay, this beginning's kind of slow. Let's
Woke piece of garbage. Nope.
there's a lot of woke stuff out there, but I don't mind it
Don't need to
as
see
long
it.
as it does tell me a fun story. So,
Okay.
anyway, I don't know. To go back to the driving thing, it's just that's just the thing. Like he likes driving. Like he was a big, you know, he likes movies where his character drives everywhere. I mean, I'm glad he's able to do that, and I just wonder because I was telling you before, like I wish I could see the Scout, or whatever, and see if he drives in that because he wrote it, you know. So I'm like, is that something he just writes into all of his scripts? Is like, okay, well, like you said, maybe he's like, okay, we got to get to point A to point B, so let's have him drive to point A to point B, and show it driving because then you see, because most people go, if the people are going to go to the gym, they would just cut to the gym or cut to like the parking lot of the gym and then have them get out, right? So for him, it's on the way to the gym to the traffic and the 405 or whatever to the gym, and stuff. And it's just an extra bit of padding for the film, so it
It's
doesn't.
probably that too. I thought earlier today, I guess I was thinking about the driving scenes. I think I want to get a still, a high res like a still, um, of or just a picture of Albert Brooks. It could even be from this film where he's just sitting in his car and the camera is, looking straight on. And it's just him in the driver's seat, and you see all the traffic, and he's in his car, and put that on a mug. And it doesn't say anything. It's just Albert Brooks in a car on a freeway. And unless you're you or me, nobody will get
Nobody would
it.
care. They'll be like,
Yeah,
"Why do you have that guy, that random
yeah,
guy,
yeah.
on your mug?" And you'll be like,
You
"Oh,
won't
that's
get
Albert
it.
Brooks."
You won't get it.
No, yeah,
You just won't get it.
it's a Jonathan and me thing.
Yeah.
That's, our inside joke. Now people would hopefully get it if they listened to this the whole thing, if they've
I may
actually
do
heard the
it.
whole thing, you
They're
know.
really easy to make, so there are these companies, but
Actually, even Amazon does it. If you you can custom make a mug. I was almost gonna do it for one of my mugs. It was only gonna be about $20.
yeah.
And you custom make, you just put your picture onto the mug and then that's it. You don't have to do anything else. And so I almost did it for one of the things, but I was like, never mind. Didn't want to. I'm glad I
Oh,
didn't because I'm really bad with money. I start thinking if I have some, I can just spend it, everything. I can't.
Mr. 4K television.
I know. I'm like, I should, well, that was a good deal. Like, I was happy about that. I actually got that for free. So that was fine. But the 4K Blu Ray player I had to buy, and I bought with my own money. But um, I started realizing, man, I think about it and I'm like, oh, I have this amount of money, and then it goes away pretty quickly. And then later I'm like, fuck, where did that money go? So kind of sucks. You know. You know what I mean? Like you just gotta watch.
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm
I hear you.
terrible with money. I would need a manager, but then I'd have to pay the manager.
And then the manager would just be stealing it from you.
Some
So that's,
managers I'm sure do, but most of them are supposed to not. Like that's the whole point, because
well,
they
yeah.
don't want to get it out there that they steal from their clients, because then they won't have clients
Well, no,
anymore.
that's when you spend, your life in concrete down at the bottom of the ocean, if you're doing
I'm
that type
slow
of thing.
swimming with the fishes. See.
Swimming with the fishes, yeah.
Um.
You know, you know,
Anywho.
I tried explaining this movie to OGP and I
Mhm.
couldn't. Because I showed the picture of it to him and he goes, "Oh, it looks like a chick flick." And I go, "No, it's not a chick flick, it's a comedy." And he's like, "Well, what is it about?" And I probably should have just read him the back. But I was trying to explain it to him.
What'd you say?
I said like Albert Brooks plays, and I don't think he knows who Albert Brooks is. So I'm
Mm.
like, well, Albert Brooks plays a screenwriter who can't sell a script. So he finds a muse who helps him, but this is before I had watched the movie again, so I was a little
Rusty.
blanky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way that I'm just like, fuck, can you describe this movie without reading it? Like, is it,
Could I describe it like, yeah, Albert Brooks is a struggling screenwriter who needs some inspiration. He's lost his edge, and his friend introduces him to a
but this is
um
after you've watched the
yeah,
movie, though.
after if I
Now I can, yeah,
yeah,
but before watching it, since I've only seen this film twice, maybe
right.
three times. This might be my third time. I know I saw it in the theater, and then I probably watched it when it came out on VHS.
I know I've seen it. I've seen it on television. Like through like HBO or one of those, remember when HBO was on the television and you just watch TV and whatever was on, So if it was on, maybe you record it on your little VHS
Oh yeah.
thingamajiggy,
Yeah, you
your
got the
VCR.
guide.
Yeah, so you TV Guide, which does not exist anymore, I don't think. And then you would go and say, "Oh, that movie's gonna be on. I might as well record it." But anyway, so I'd watch it and I liked it. I don't know if I rented it on VHS or DVD before, but I liked it on television and thought it was cute. It was cute. This is the exact
It's
movie
cute.
where I can actually say it's cute.
I would
It's
say it's cute. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
I could agree with that.
And it, I liked it because most of these movies, right, will have like the women against each other or something, not like each other, or the wife thinks that the woman is gonna try to steal the man away from her, and everything. And in this movie, the wife becomes best friends with the muse,
Right.
Like there's no I think she's secretly wanted to sleep with her. Like there's that weirdness in the
There.
like where she wanted to share the bed with her and stuff and until she was naked, which unfortunately
Oh my God, Sharon Stone looks good in this. Oh,
that was not her. That was a butt double. She has used butt doubles in every one of her movies. She never.
what?
Yep. It's sad.
Oh, then I take it back. Sharon Stone, you look like a dried up apple.
Oh, she looked great in that.
I don't care. I thought for decades that was her. And I would tell people you need to see this movie called The Muse because Sharon Stone gets naked in it and she looks amazing. Now that I thank you for ruining that for me, John.
Sorry, I
Thank you.
didn't mean to do that. I just looked it up online and found that out that that was a butt double. Better that you know the truth, man. You know, better
Next
to
thing you're
know
gonna
the
tell me
truth.
is Santa Claus doesn't exist.
Well, he does exist, but his name is Santa Maria Claus. In,
Jeez, he's a Spanish Claus.
It's-
Instead of
oh,
reindeer, he has a boat.
and Jesus is Jesus, and
Oh yeah, well that's the guy that mows my lawn. So yeah,
he
yeah.
also steals hubcaps from cars. But
Oh,
that was
yeah.
from Bloodhound Gang. I did not make that up. That was from Bloodhound Gang. There's a song where it's like it's called I forgot what it's called, but he goes uh he's talking about being hung like hung up like Jesus on the cross, and he was like if I were God, right? And he's like, I'd say I would say I found Jesus that would throw them off. It's like his real name's Jesus and he steals hubcaps from cars. Mr. Jesus, can I borrow your crowbar? It's just so fucked up song. It's like it's one of the most fucked up religious songs. I laugh at it because even as a Christian person, if you can't laugh at things like that, then I feel like what's the point of life? I bet if there is a God and there is a Jesus, that they'd have a sense of humor about the shit down here. They'd be laughing their ass off because
Oh
you
no,
know
man. God threw a hissy fit and flooded the entire planet, murdered a
that
lot of
was that
people.
was years ago. That was in the first,
That was
whatever.
before he had a kid.
Yeah. Like I think Jesus changed his life,
Yeah,
man.
then he became a deadbeat dad and then came back 33 years later.
You know, I
And
don't
Mary did not consent to this, by the way.
and they were all Jewish, just like Albert Brooks.
Oy vey.
So I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really fun. Like I said, I think Defending Your Life is still my favorite. And I don't know if it's just because it talks about religion and in a way that's not religious, which is weird to say, but it's very spiritual, more spiritual than religious. And I think it's just a that's just a great movie. But this is up there. Like I gave this 4.5 stars. I don't know what you would give it.
Oh, 4.5. Yeah,
4.5,
definitely.
yeah. And
Definitely.
so I gave it that because I've been doing this where I've been ranking all the movies and stuff. I guess I can tell you this. I'm not gonna say all the movies I have, but Modern Romance got 3.5 stars, and Lost in America got 4. You know, so so right now, the Modern Romance is probably my least favorite of his movies, and I just think it's just because it's just not as funny. It's not as and it kind of drove me crazy. It gave me a little anxiety. Just their relationship was up down and stuff. But I love the girl who's in it and stuff. And and Bruno Kirby. I love Bruno Kirby.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right. He is in it.
He was in it too. So, very young Bruno Kirby. So it was just really nice to see that movie, and I love it. I'll own it, and I'll be happy to have all of Albert Brooks's films. But I think Real Life and this and I like Mother a lot, but I don't have the same affection Mother does that you have, you know, because you had that but in my opinion, Defending Your Life is a 5 star one, and this is 4.5, and I think Mother might be 4.5 as well, and whatnot. But yeah, I think this was great, and I'm sad that he hasn't made a movie since the Muslim one. So I hope he makes another comedy, you know.
Well, have you seen Albert Brooks defending My Life, the
No, I've heard of it.
documentary?
I
It's
heard, I think
great.
you told me to
Yeah.
watch it. I just haven't got a chance to yet. I will at
Yeah.
some point.
Very good.
I love that there is no real big thing on this. I think that this is gonna get a Criterion at some point or something, you know. I would not be surprised if Criterion or Kino or somebody else snags this movie, you know. Um, because this is just a bare bones Universal release that has a featurette on it. I don't know if your DVD had the featurette on it or not, but this has a featurette and it's like 5 minutes long, and it
Yeah,
just shows
that's
like
what I got.
the making of it or whatever. And I did like hearing Sharon Stone was super excited to work with Albert Brooks, you know, and she read the script and loved it and kept reading it thinking she
No,
was
no,
only going to
no.
be a cameo.
No, 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 no.
That's what I heard on the
No,
featurette.
no, because I watched this like 6 minutes long. She said that she got a call from Albert Brooks. Like she didn't take the call. She just got a call from Albert Brooks and she assumed that it was a cameo in
Yeah,
one of his
cameo.
movies.
Hmm.
So then when she spoke to him, that's what she was expecting. And he goes, I would love you for this movie. This is what it is. Do you want to read the script? And she went, no. I don't want to read the script. I'll just do it. And he's like, are you
Right. Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I'll just do it. So she never read the script.
But
She just loved Albert
yeah,
Brooks.
she loved Albert Brooks and found him funny. So,
Yeah.
you know, and for, you know, and I could get it. Like she probably thought it was like one of the walk-on roles, like you know, one of cameos like Jennifer Tilly, you know, and everything. And I bet a lot of these people did the cameos and other small roles just because it's an Albert Brooks film, you know, like you know what you're kind of gonna get, you know, with it and stuff. So the last thing I think I'll say about this movie is I just didn't like the ending. I didn't like that it was her again at the end. I felt very confused by that. Like she was going by a different name. So is she the same person or is she a different person?
I think it's because they talked about her having split personalities and stuff. So I think that's just another one of her personalities. Yeah.
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah.
Like so
The only thing I didn't like about that is, and I did find the stuff in the cookie store with Albert and his wife to be funny with like, kill the kid because he keeps demanding a sample.
yeah.
That was funny. But just to get the phone call and go, they're not doing Rob Reiner's movie. They want to do yours. I thought that was a little easy. It
Ah,
was
you know what it was? It was a Greek thing. It was a Deus Ex Machina. It was a God machine. You know what that is, right? You know.
explain.
Okay, so a Deus Ex Machina is when out of nowhere, it was used in plays back in the day where all of a sudden the gods would come down and, you know, basically help them out by doing something. So somebody would be in a play, somebody would be like, "Oh, I'm about to be killed," and then the gods would come down and like take him away or whatever before
Okay.
he got killed and stuff. That was that because that's a Greek thing, but I felt like it was too quick of a thing because we had the one scene of him being told, you got to get out of my, you know, you got to get out, you know, or whatever. And it doesn't have anything that says like 2 months later, 2 weeks later, or anything. You just see him working at the cookie shop. I mean, we don't know how long that's been. You know, we have no time. And then all of a sudden he gets the call saying, "Oh, they're not doing that movie. You need to run down to the you know Paramount and you know what I mean? Like it was a Deus Ex Machina. It was a very quick
Okay.
like let's just make it all end very nicely, you know. And that was another thing I didn't like. I didn't like it ending nicely. I thought it would, but I guess it has to if it's a comedy, right? I've been told that a comedy always ends happy, a drama always ends sad. So you can tell a comedy and a drama, apart from each other because the drama ends with tragedy and the comedy ends with a happy ending, you know.
That
Uh,
okay, well that's why I was laughing my ass off while watching Judgment at Nuremberg. It's a great funny. It's hilarious. The movie's funny as hell.
did it end happy?
No.
Oh, damn it. Well,
No. Well, I guess depending on how you look at it. But but yeah.
anywho,
No, I mean I mean the dickhead producer got, fired and I was expecting maybe Spielberg to walk in, instead like he'd be,
that would have been funny. That would have been
yeah,
good.
it's just, come on in, so now it's not the brother, like you've gone up.
Yeah,
So
maybe
now you
Universal wanted him because their thing fell through, so let me we're not making that movie with Rob Reiner, but we'd like to make yours. And Steven Spielberg is directing it now,
Yeah, Rob Reiner just made North and it's awful, so let's make your movie instead.
yeah, that was 94 though, and then he made something else like after that that got him back on track. What did he make after North? Poor guy. I remember going to the theater and watching North and liking it as a child, you know? Like it was a child movie. That's gonna be on Hollywood Knockbuster at some point.
Ugh.
Um, yeah, it's a movie that
Oofa.
yeah, it's a pretty bad movie, but I wanna watch it again and see
Well, it's
what.
another one with tons of cameos.
Yeah, tons of cameos. Rob Reiner used to like that, didn't he? Like a lot of cameos in a lot of his movies.
Yeah, I think it
Um,
depends on what it is, because like Misery didn't have cameos in it. It just depends on what it is, I
yeah,
think.
Princess Bride had cameos like Billy Crystal and things like that. I mean, they were. But what is it? Yeah, he had done North, but then he did The American President in
Which is the
95.
film that he thanked her for.
Yeah,
So
said she.
that would make sense because North bombed. She gave him the idea for the American president, which then brought him back on top.
Yep.
So that's why he's thanking her.
I mean, Albert Brooks did his
Research.
research and knows this stuff. And I guarantee you he was friends with Rob Reiner. Even if he never worked on a Rob Reiner movie, he's probably hung out with
Oh,
him,
they're
you
all
know.
friends. I mean, that's
It's such a
yeah.
weird world to think about. Like, how many people in Hollywood today like hang out at parties and just chill and just chat? Like, I mean, you see them all work together, like George Clooney working with, Julia Roberts and all these people in the freaking Ocean's 25,000, movies and stuff like that. But then like they're probably all actual friends. They all hang out. Do you know who's not a friend of one another? Pamela Anderson and Seth Rogen. They don't like each other. Well, at least Pam doesn't like Seth.
Huh?
She was mad because she had to sit close to him at the Golden Globes
Oh, and he
because
did that movie about the
he,
sex tape.
yeah, that was why she was mad. She was not happy with him on
See,
that.
I wouldn't want to sit next to him because of what he did to the Green Hornet. So
Would you have said that at the Golden Globes? Would you have been like, "Get away from me, you
I would
ruined it."
if there was an after party and I had some alcohol, yeah, because the film that he made after that would have been, This Is the End, which is great.
Uh-huh.
And Jonah Hill even makes a comment, at one point he goes, "Wow, I wish you put that much passion into, the Green Hornet." So it's like, well, then the guy made a great movie after that. So it's like, fuck. But he still destroyed Green Hornet, which is my favorite superhero. So
Well, and in some way, Jonah Hill said that about that. That's funny.
yeah, it's when they were all at the table, like doing the sequels and stuff like that, and they were all kind of messing around with the gun and
Yeah.
drinking, and yeah, and he's like, "Well, I think he might not have said, he might have said not like passion, but enthusiasm or something like
Yeah.
that in the Green Hornet."
It's
So
funny. I love that movie. I could watch that movie over and over again. This is the end. I think it's.
not the Green Hornet.
Oh, not the Green Hornet. I don't even know if I watched the whole thing of the Green Hornet. I
It
watched
had
like the first
everything.
5 to 10 minutes and I kind of turned it off.
It had the costumes. It had the car. It had every they even knew that way back in the beginning, the Lone Ranger was originally the Green Hornet's great great uncle. So they were connected, but then they got bought off and copyrights and all that. So they even did a research with that. And I was really hoping that Seth Rogen was going to do a Michael Keaton, like he did with Batman. None of us wanted Michael Keaton as Batman because he was Beetlejuice. Why do we
Hmm.
want Beetlejuice to be Batman? There was even a petition to not have him be Batman. And so I was hoping, okay, maybe Seth Rogen will do the same thing. He'll be the jerky guy at the beginning, and then like his dad will die or something, and then he'll become serious, and then we'll
Mm-hmm.
get Michael Keaton's Batman. Nope.
Nope. That's sad.
Yeah, he was
Um,
just an asshole through the entire movie.
but don't care. Not my Green Hornet. Not my interest. And plus, I never really liked Green Hornet, and I didn't like. It's not my thing. Like, I don't know. I wasn't ever into
I would
that
love to
stuff.
do a show for like Netflix or something for the Green
The Green
Hornet.
Hornet. Yeah,
Yeah, do episodes like,
yeah, that'd be great.
yeah.
Would it
Well,
be?
you won't watch it because you don't like him.
I'd watch it if you did it. I know you won't watch an Adam Sandler movie that I make, but I would watch something that you'd make even if I didn't like it, just because you made
No,
it, and it would be
if
interesting to see your idea for it.
if you made something that Adam Sandler made, I would watch it with you on the phone, giving me audio commentary, being
So you
like,
can also yell at me.
yeah, well, then you could say like, well, man, I had it this way, but then they changed it to that way, and my way was better, so that I could hear all the kind of the inside scoop.
I don't know. I don't think I don't know unless Adam just likes to take the scripts and then just wipe his butt with them. But I don't know. I think he usually takes the scripts pretty seriously. I don't know. Anyway, to go back to Albert Brooks. I'm happy to have seen all these movies back to back. I mean, watching this and then watching the other two. I'm happy. I've seen them. I can say I've seen all the ones that are on Blu-ray. I still need to see the Muslim World one. I can probably watch that online somewhere or something, or buy it on DVD. I just want it on. I want it on Blu-ray, just so I can have all of them on Blu-ray, or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm that kind of completist. But you didn't buy it on Blu-ray because it's more expensive. It's like $20 to buy it on Blu-ray, and it's like $10 to buy it on DVD. So you went the cheaper version, which is probably smarter for you, but for
I would
me,
buy. I don't know if I'd buy his stuff. I mean, as much as I love Albert Brooks, DVD is fine with me because it's not like an action movie or something. It's
which
just it's a comedy.
his character was an action director. What? Or action writer. He wrote action. He was writing an action movie for Paramount. I'm like, the heck?
But
He
they
does.
but they weren't wrong with saying that he lost his edge because when you start saying every action movie is the same, so just make the movie, kind of lost her edge. I mean,
Yeah, you don't have anything new to bring to the
there's no
table.
passion to it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing new to bring to the table. And that's the thing is like there probably is a lot of people who lose their edge after a while because they start making the same movie over and over again. The writers of Mission Impossible, I know you love that series and everything. I'm not dissing on the series. I'm just saying, after a while, they're probably kind of bored by it. Like how many times can we get Ethan Hunt to go through all this stuff? Like, you know, um,
Well, I mean, up the Fallout, they did a great job. I mean,
like
I
yeah, it's
mean,
they're getting,
the two
you
Dead
know.
Reckoning movies or something else. So
And I wonder if Albert Brooks did his own stunts in this movie, like Tom Cruise.
I would like to think so, but maybe not. Like, did he
He,
drive his own car? I don't think so.
he did drive. He was
Unless the
driving.
the camera's on the car.
Yeah, we saw that.
Okay, he was okay. But
We
if
saw
it's
that a
just
few
him
times.
turning a corner, then no, probably not. I can't imagine him saying, meet me on the corner, we'll shoot this shot." No.
Plus, he's the director. Wouldn't you want to see, what he's directing? Like,
No,
oh,
because that's like first unit, second unit.
no, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't need to see that. He
No,
just he
that's all
just puts
them.
that in. He's
That's
not.
why people like you and I who go out and shoot these low budget things, we have to do all that stuff. But when you're
Yeah.
James Cameron or Spielberg or whatever, pah, They're never going. I watched Slither, the James Gunn movie, and I watched the audio commentary, and he talks about one of the things that he's disappointed about is how the like second unit directors, their footage did not match
Mm-hmm.
his, and it's supposed to. You're supposed to mimic the director, and he said
Right.
that they didn't. I didn't notice any difference, but he did. So
Um, my friend Jackie, my best friend, she worked on Scary Movie 5, I want to say, and she said that like she did like not body double, she was like hand double or something, other things like double. Like there's all these other doubles and she was just like they would just do like somebody in a hot tub and they would just shoot like the back or something. So
yeah,
you have no idea that that's not Ashley Tisdale's back, or Sharon Stone's butt, but they shoot that.
so
So
disappointing.
I know, I'm sorry.
But you know, when
Uh,
Mel Gibson has showed his butt, it's his butt. So okay, there we
so,
go. You could tell
some
it's him.
people, man, they're Tommy Wiseau, that's his butt,
I mean, if you gotta have a stunt double for a butt,
a butt
there's
double.
something wrong with your butt. Your butt must not be very nice.
And
If
I
you have,
guess you can now tell your friend that you told years ago to watch that movie, and now you can say, fuck that movie because it didn't show the butt,
so
her butt.
disappointing.
Yeah,
For
I looked that up and I was so mad. I was so mad. I was hoping that it was really her butt and everything. But I don't know.
but
You know. Anyway, well, that's about it.
but
Thank you so much, John, for joining me for this little
of course,
nice,
well, thank you
like
for having
way
me.
too long review of a movie
Yes.
that we went longer than the movie. You could
Yeah, yeah,
watch,
that's true.
you could sort of we wouldn't even be able to do commentary. It would be past
Well,
time.
you could play the movie and us at the same time. We just
I
wouldn't be
know, we
talking.
just would still be
Yeah.
talking after the movie's already finished.
You know, I don't feel bad because the YouTube channel that I like, Mr. Sunday Movies, they do audio commentaries, and half the time they drift.
Yeah,
So
so they talk
they'll
about
review, yeah, Batman Begins, and then all of a sudden they'll go into something totally different for like 10 minutes.
I've done that before in a bunch of my stuff. I think I've done that with you
You've
before in
done
a bunch of
well in
this.
everything we do that.
Yeah,
So
we don't stay on target very much, you
nope,
know.
no staying
But
on target.
but I think we did a lot today for that. Like I mean, the couple Bill Murray discussions or something might have derailed us, but
But
aside
if
from
he
that,
was
it started with him we're talking
Lost in
about
America, yeah, well, it's
Lost in
still Albert Brooks
America,
related. Yeah,
Albert Brooks related, but then it went on a little tangent. But it's okay. We're back.
okay,
We went back, and I mean, we didn't just stay on there for too long, you know. But everybody, check this out. If you haven't seen the Muse, we spoiled the shit out of it, so still watch it because I liked it. I had a fun time with it. It's a
it's
cute
very
little
good.
movie, and I'm happy to own it. I'm happy to own all his movies. I
Yeah,
still
I got
want
to get
this.
all of them.
I don't think the Scout's on Blu-ray, so it would be nice to see him do more stuff. He's just been acting pretty much, I think, for most of his stuff. So, but I really like him. I think he's a funny guy, and his jabs are some of the funniest. Like I imagine this is just how he is, where somebody will say something to him like, you have a walk up, and he'd be like, "Oh, is there a crawl up?" Right? And that's just him, being him. Like I think it's still written, but I think it's like um he did say in the Lost in America interview I saw, he said that the best line that his co-writer ever gave him for Monica Johnson ever gave him for any of his scripts, and this is after the Muse too. This is past her death. She's sadly no longer with us,
Oh,
but he said that the best line was from Modern Romance, which was in that scene with his brother or whatever, where he was basically they were both saying the lines, and he said, I don't, why would I want a wrist wallet? Right? And he goes, what, are you gonna run broke? And that was her line. What are you gonna run broke? And
That's
he
funny.
thought that was the funniest line. And it is. And it made me laugh, but it did not make me laugh like, ha ha, that's so freaking funny. Made me laugh like that's a funny line. I'm gonna write that down.
That.
Go back to that annoying producer guy, character. you know. But anyway, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed this. Join me. I think I don't know if I'll be back next week. If I am, I'll be by myself, most likely, doing another review. So, join me for that. Until then, everybody. Bye, John. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.